I really like the theme of this chapter, and maybe I'm looking too deeply into it, but ultimately happiness is a choice, and we all need to remember that. Dereshi. One Piece, chapter 392. Dereshi. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and adventure-filled and Robin-centric flashback heavy tale of One Piece. Now, our last chapter, of course, saw us with Robin actually kind of going and drifting about halfway through the chapter into her flashback, and really just kind of showing her daily life and how she's not accepted by the other children on the island, on Ohara, where she is. Apparently, her parents are gone; they're not around, and she seems to have kind of a Cinderella tale going with her aunt and uncle and cousin, as they just sort of give her a bunch of chores to do. It seems like, and don't want to have much to do with her. However, we do see at the end of the chapter that she does have some friends in this awesome, cool treehouse, carved-out tree of knowledge thing, where they have where all the archaeologists and historians and whatnot of Ohara kind of reside. And the chapter ends and culminates with her having passed a doctoral exam to actually become a formal archaeologist. So that's where things leave off, and that's right where things pick up over here. Actually, Professor Clover winds up congratulating her and telling her about the great weight that's now upon her shoulders as being an archaeologist, and that the tree of knowledge is 5,000 years old, and this is the history, and the historians and some of the greatest archaeologists in the world come here, and basically like, hey, this is with great power comes great responsibility. And Robin immediately winds up asking and saying, okay, cool, now can we go down in the basement and, work on, trying to decipher the poneglyphs? And they're like, whoa, hold on a second, you can't do that. They're like, that you'll get beheaded for that. That's illegal. That's against everything else, right? She wants to fill in the history of the Void Century, or the 100-year history that's missing, right? And as far as I'm concerned, this just smells like a big government conspiracy. And who knows how many years ago it started and everything else. But I know that 800 years ago, I guess, supposedly, is when it was banned to actually even try to decipher these poneglyphs, or to even try to find out anything about the history. So God only knows what happened during the course of that time. But it's obviously something that winds up being, or that's trying to be covered up by the powers that be. So anyway, she's pissed off, though, because that's the whole reason that she wanted to become an archaeologist and do all this stuff, is because I guess she's been spying on them, and they're like, have you been spying on us? And she's like, well, it isn't like you'd let me down in the basement otherwise, so yeah, of course I had to spy on you. I figured once I was in the fold, I was an archaeologist, you'd then allow me to do that. And they're like all freaking out, because now somebody knows about what they're doing, and of course they can all be killed for what they're doing. So really kind of, I guess, neat to see that, but at the same time, you wonder, like, what is it that you're protecting that's so secretive? So anyway, Robin goes and stomps off. She's pissed, right? Because she's told that if she ever talks about it again, or tries to sneak down there or anything else, or spy on them, that she will not be allowed to be an archaeologist, or not be allowed to come there and obviously commiserate with everybody else and read all these books and get all this knowledge that she has. So she winds up going off, and as she walks off, they show a wanted poster, and they show her mother, Nico Olvia. And I was going to say Olivia, because that's how it sounds like, or that's how it looks like, but it's missing an I in there, so it's Olvia, or Alvia. Anyway, so her mother, who's also very stunning, but looks like maybe she has whiter or blonder hair, but looks like a spitting image of like the full-grown Nico Robin, at least in the wanted poster. Apparently, they say that she was picked up a few days ago, and that her fate has been decided. So I don't know what the story is. I don't know if she's been gone for a while, and they just got word that she's been picked up, or if she just disappeared a few days ago. Robin seems to be awfully, she seems to have accepted what's going on around here, and she isn't like, hey, where's mom? So I'm assuming she's been gone for a while. Anyway, the chapter progresses, and she winds up as she's walking on the beach over there, obviously on the outskirts on the beach of the island of Ohara. A giant has washed up ashore, right? And the giant goes, and that's where I got that Dereshi, because that's the way he laughs. But he introduces himself as Saul, and winds up talking to her a little bit and saying, hey, listen, he asks if there's a town. She says yes. He says, man, I wish I would have washed up on an abandoned island, an uninhabited island. And I guess he's hurt his leg, but, after it heals up and he nurses it back to health a little bit, he's then going to build a raft to get the hell out of there. He makes mention of, don't worry about me, I'm not like those barbarians in Elbaf. They give giants a bad name. Not everybody's like as violent and, war-trodden, whatever you want to say, warmongerish as them. So obviously there's giants then not just from Elbaf. Giants are something that are a race that is obviously sprinkled throughout the world, or at least in definitely a couple of different places. We know at least 2 now, right? So we do wind up finding out, which I thought was pretty cool, that his full name is actually Jaguar D. Saul. And she says, D, what's the D for? And he says, I don't know. He says, it's just, everybody in my family has that. So I kind of found that interesting. I actually found that really interesting because although I don't know a lot 400 chapters into it about the will of D and all that other sort of stuff, I do know that obviously a lot of these different major players that it looks like are going towards or have gone towards or have sought after the One Piece have that middle initial. And there's obviously something more to it than that, but now we see that even giants, so it isn't like it's just, it isn't like it's just humans or anything like that have, because we know obviously of Portgas D. Ace, Monkey D. Luffy, we know obviously, what's his face over there, obviously Gold D. Roger. I think there was another one too that I was thinking of, but anyways, so I thought that was pretty cool to find out and to see, and hopefully there's gonna be some backstory into where he came from and why he actually has that D in his name. And it's so funny because whenever you hear the will of D, I don't know, maybe I'm getting to be older or whatever, but it seems like I've had a few friends and I've kind of heard people say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give her the D, like referring to their dick. So whenever I hear the will of D, I always, for some reason, my mind immediately goes to the gutter, and I think of like that saying that I've heard, just various people, buddies, bars, things like that. Not like I even get out a whole lot anymore, certainly with other people that are not my wife or kids. But when I have, I've heard that phrase a few different times. Oh yeah, she wants the D. I'm gonna give her the D. So anyway. But anyway, the chapter ends up shortly after that. We do get a brief kind of takeaway from everything where it shows somewhere in the West Blue, and we find that 20 years ago, the director of CP9, which was still obviously flourishing up and running, is Director Spandine. And Director Spandine, I can only assume, is the father or older brother or uncle or something of the Spandam. Very similar names. I'm thinking that they have some kind of relation, some familial relation. Not quite sure yet. But anyway, he's getting a call from headquarters, and he's like, just ignore it, just ignore it. They just want to know, they want like a progress report. They want to check up on me. And you know what? I'll let them know when we land on this Ohara, O'Hearn, O'Hara, O'Hare, whatever. So they're obviously headed towards Ohara for some reason or another, and we know that obviously is coming down. So we also get a kind of brief check-in then with the archaeologist where they hear that there is a naval ship that's been sighted on the other side of the island and this and that. So they're all kind of freaking trying to figure out, like, what's that all about? Like, have we been found out? Because again, remember, it's a crime to even go and study or even look into or even talk about, apparently, these poneglyphs or this void century, this missing 100 years of history. So the chapter, though, does wind up ending up with, actually, it's Robin, and she's visiting Saul again. And it's funny because he asks her to keep a secret, not tell anybody he's there, because there's people looking for him or something along those lines. And who knows, maybe that's what has to do with the the CP9 agents. I'm not sure. But she's like, it's okay, I can keep a secret. And he's like, no, you can't. You're just a kid, and this and that. Kid's got. And she's like, I'm not even really interested in you. I don't care. And he's like, oh, what do you mean? But anyway, she winds up showing him her power, right? And then she talks about, she says, listen, all the kids on the island think I'm a freak. My mom and dad are gone. I do have a mom, but she's not here, or whatever she says, something along those lines. Basically, I don't really have many people to tell, or any friends or anybody that I talk with or commiserate with, right? And the whole theme of the chapter, other than some of these different things that were going on, was that, even in the face of all the negativity and all the things that are coming towards you, no matter what's being piled on you in life, you can still laugh. You can still smile. You can still laugh. And that's something that I've been learning here. As a matter of fact, really ever since I started doing YouTube, with the videos, just being positive, even in the face of overwhelming negativity. And that doesn't mean just pretending like the bad shit's not happening. It just means handling it in a different way. To each their own, but that's how I've been handling things and looking at things. And I really like this because he's got this goofy laugh where he goes, Dereshi, Dereshi. And she's just like, you laugh funny, And she kind of starts giggling. He's like, you got a nice laugh too. You should laugh more. You should smile more. When the world is crushing you and beating you down, you can still smile. You can still be happy. Because remember, at the end of the day, folks, happiness is a choice. It's not a situation that you're put into. Certainly there's things that can help to put you along that path and to make you happier, But the bottom line is happiness is a choice. When you woke up today, when you turn on this video, when you turn off this video, you can choose to smile and be happy and just be a cool, vibrant, outgoing person, or you can choose to be depressed and downtrodden and saddened or whatever by the circumstances that are going on around you. hopefully you'll make the choice to smile and to be positive and to be happy, because really at the end of the day, it's very infectious. And that's something that I can tell you for sure firsthand, because being obviously in a family setting where I have wife and kids and stuff like that, being positive and trying to smile even in the face of overwhelming odds. Some of the things that I'm going through right now family-wise, you probably wouldn't even believe me if I told you. And I shouldn't say family-wise, I should just say just personal life-wise. But I still choose to be positive and happy, because being negative and letting my stomach turn over things that I can't control, because many things are out of our control anyway, we can only do the best we can to try to put things in place, but worrying about others or worrying about how others are going to react to things, not going to do any good for you. So I know I got off on a little bit of a tangent there, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's your choice whether you want to go and you want to be a positive credit to the world around you and the people around you, society, YouTube, whatever it is that you're doing. Or you can be that negative person that's always like, this sucks, and I can't believe this, and this got delayed, and I didn't get what I wanted, and woe is me, So hopefully you choose to be positive. That's obviously the end of the chapter, though, even though I drew it out a little bit for you. My chapter question, though, brothers and sisters, is really what are your thoughts on what I just said about happiness being a choice? I really thought that was kind of the theme of this chapter, that, hey, listen, Robin's got a lot of shit going against her, but Saul is telling her, listen, man, you can still smile and laugh. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm a giant that's on the run from whoever. I washed up on shore, my leg's all fucked up, right? And, at the end of the day, though, I'm still deciding to be happy and laugh. So let me know what your thoughts are on that, if you do agree that happiness is a choice, and certainly if you thought, what you thought about that theme running through this chapter. Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
Remember to subscribe to my other channels, Dereshi, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Dereshi.